Hey y'all, what's good, what's poppin'? So for today's video, I wanted to do a slightly different video than normal. It's not gonna be like my normal makeup or skincare videos. Instead today, I wanted to just sit down and film a video of me reading off my DNA results. I was inspired to do this video because I've actually done this video before. It was 2 years ago. My results were a lot different because back then, I guess 23&Me didn't have as big of a sample in their database to go off of for their DNA results. So things have changed a bit, and I noticed that recently because my friend got hers done for Christmas and we were comparing results, and I noticed I had a whole bunch of new things pop up. So I wanted to do this video just to kind of do a little update on what my DNA results are, what I am, because I feel like that is one of my most common questions I get in real life is what is my ethnic background and what am I? But before we get into it, I just want to say thank y'all for being here. Thank you especially to my new subscribers. Thank you for clicking that subscribe button and sticking around. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click the subscribe button and go ahead and click the bell button so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Without further ado, let's get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and read off my results and tell y'all what I am, what I is. Before I do that individual breakdowns, get into the specifics, my overall breakdown is I am 56.1% European, 33.9% Sub-Saharan African, 9.6% East Asian and Native American, and 0.4% unassigned. Now we're gonna look at the specifics here. So for my European, 56.1%, 22.4% of that is from British and Irish. And actually, according to 23&Me, they predict that I have ancestors from the British Isles within the last 200 years. And actually, I noticed this recently. If you click on this, if you click here on this little tab here that says view report at the bottom, gives you a little bit more in depth about all the little things about the little ethnic groups that are in your background. But also, if it predicts that you had ancestors there, it breaks it down even further and gives you a little estimate of where it thinks your ancestors came from. So as you can see, Great Britain and Ireland, it predicts that I'm a stronger match for the United Kingdom than I am for Ireland, although I do strike a match for both. So if I click on the United Kingdom, as you can see here, it breaks down the regions that it thinks that my ancestors most likely came from, the darker blue areas being the regions that it thinks that I have ancestry in. And so for the top 10 regions, I have Greater London, Glasgow, Lancashire, West Midlands, Nottinghamshire, County Durham, Highland, Oxfordshire, Greater Manchester, and Northumberland. So if you're from the UK and you're from any of those regions, shout out to y'all, leave a comment below. We might be related, you never know. And then for Ireland, same thing here. Here are the regions of Ireland that pop up as having strong evidence of recent ancestry. And my top 6 regions in Ireland are County Limerick, County Tipperary, County Dublin, County Cork, County Wexford, and County Roscommon. So again, shout out to any viewers out there from Ireland. If you're from any of those regions, leave a comment below. Going through the rest of the European, I'm 18.7% French and German, which makes sense to me. So if you click on the French and German region, as you can see, that includes everything from countries like France and Germany to Austria, Belgium, and even the Netherlands. And that makes sense because my granddad is from the Netherlands, so it makes sense that I would be about roughly a quarter French and German. And then nextly is Spanish and Portuguese, and that comes in at 0.4%. And that took a hit from before. I think when I did my first video, I was something like 1.3 or 1.4%. So I lost almost like a full percentage of Spanish and Portuguese. My broadly Northwestern European has fallen to just 9.4%. It was almost a full quarter when I first got my results, but now it's fallen to just 9.4%. And hopefully with time, I'll see that go down even more to hopefully just none, and it'll be able to assign me to everything, but we'll see. And then broadly Southern European is now 2.6%, and broadly European in general is also 2.6%. Also before, I remember that I was a little bit over 1% Scandinavian, and now in my results, Scandinavian is like completely absent. So I don't know if that was completely absorbed by like the French and German, if it went back into the broadly Northwest European and just needs to be reanalyzed, or if I was never Scandinavian in the first place and they played me. I just want to throw that out there that that was a thing and now it's not. And now the part of my results that I'm most excited about. So Sub-Saharan African, 33.9%. When I first got my DNA results, it didn't break down the African part as thoroughly as it did here. And I think it's just because, you know, there's always been that sort of socioeconomic barrier to people of color, especially Black people, African Americans, to get a DNA test because of the cost associated with getting it done. But as the price have fallen within the past couple years, I guess they've gotten a greater variety of DNA in their database to work from. They've actually been able to break down my African ancestry down to almost like a country level, which is really cool, especially, you know, being partially of African American descent, because, you know, when our ancestors were brought here, that whole part of our culture and our history was severed. It's just kind of cool to see where we come from and kind of reestablish those roots, because that part of my heritage was kind of cut off when my ancestors came here, and I don't know anything about my history from that part of the world prior side of my ancestors coming here. According to this, 8.9% of my African is from Ghana, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, that region of Africa. A further 7.5% comes from Nigeria, 3.6% comes from Senegambia and Guinean, which composes of Senegal, the Gambia, Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. 1.7% of my sub-Saharan Africa is Congolese. Further 2% is Southern East Africa, and then 8.4% is broadly West African. So they haven't been able to pin that down further to a country level and assign it to something more specific, but that's a lot better than what it was previously. It was almost a full 30% was just broadly West African, and so the fact that they're even able to pin it down to the country level for some of it now is just incredible, and I'm really glad that I saw my results again and I'm able to kind of connect with that part of my history and my heritage in a way. A further 0.9% is broadly Congolese and Southern East African, and then 2.7% of that is just broadly Sub-Saharan African with nothing specific. And then lastly, 9.6% is East Asian and Native American, 2.3% of which is Chinese. And then again, correctly, they also predicted that I have ancestors from China within the last 200 years. And again, if we click this view report option down here, it goes ahead and it just breaks it down again and kind of breaks it down to where it predicts that I had recent ancestry in China. So only one region in China pops up for me having recent ancestry, and so that is Yunnan in southern China, and that borders Laos, Thailand, Myanmar, that sort of region of China. It's southern China, but it's a little bit more internal. So it's kind of cool to be able to connect to that part of my heritage as well, and to be able to see kind of where that part of me comes from, because growing up, you know, I knew that my grandfather's dad was from China, but he had passed long before I was even born, and so all I had really known about him was things I heard from word of mouth. And so to be able to see that part and to have a little bit of like a tangible part of my heritage from this, I don't know, it just feels good. It feels nice to be able to know where I come from, see my roots, and to know a little bit more about myself and my family and my history. And then a further 2% is Indonesian, Thai, Khmer, and Myanmar. A further 0.1% is Filipino and Austronesian. 4.8% is just broadly Chinese and Southeast Asian. Another 0.1% is Northern Asian and Native American. And then 0.3% is just broadly East Asian and Native American, can't be assigned down to a more specific group. And then lastly, 0.4% unassigned. I was actually surprised to see that my unassigned went up. Last time I had my results done, it was 0.3%, and now I'm at 0.4%. I'm like kind of a little bit disappointed, a little bit upset that that went up just a little bit. Kind of feel like I lost a little bit of myself, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully, you know, with time, as more people do DNA tests and as our database grows, they'll be able to get the unassigned down to 0. Even if it can't assign my DNA completely within the broad categories, at least to have my DNA completely assigned to at least broad categories would feel nice, you know what I mean? But that 0.4% of my DNA unassigned is bothering me. 23&Me, y'all need to work on that. So yeah, that was my updated DNA test. I know this is a short video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just thought it'd be cool to sit down and read my results off for you guys, because it was cool to see that my results changed from when I first got them. So I just want to sit down and share them with you guys, because I feel like I don't do a lot of videos like this where I share little things about me, about myself, and I feel like this is kind of like something I could do to kind of let you guys get to know me a little better. If y'all like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe for more content in the future. Go ahead and click the bell button so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what you liked about this video. Let me know what you disliked. If you've had a DNA test done before, let me know what your results were in the comments below. I hope to see you guys shortly in a new video. Bye.